Okay, so yesterday we have created a small script kind of thing. Okay, the new dot sh dot, okay, the hello dot sh yesterday we have created. If you open that, do we have anything in this? No. Okay. Okay, we have created one folder, right? Test folder. Yeah. Okay, in the test folder we are working. We have a file called hello. Okay, that hello.sh is having a execute permissions for the user, that means owner, group, and others, right? If you open that hello.sh, we have some options given, like some sequential commands we have given. Like I said, echo, that means it will print whatever the message you have given on screen. Ls, it will list it. pwd, it will list the present working directory. Date, it will list you the date. Okay, whatever you want to execute a sequential order, the whatever you want to execute the number of commands in a single go, you can put all together in one particular file, give an execute permissions to that, and you can execute it. That we have seen. Okay. Okay. While discussing that, we have checked the permissions of the file. Okay, we have changed the permissions and given right permissions to the right user group and all. In the same way, you can also give permissions to directory as well. Let us say we have created a directory. Okay. mkdir. Okay. I'll give a new directory. Now, if you want to list all the directories, you can say ls-ld. Okay, if you say just ls-ld, you can see that, okay, what are the directories you have, or else ls-lrt. You can see that there is a new directory called, okay, there is a new directory called new.dir. But how can we differentiate whether it is a file or directory? How can we come to know that? See, if you see the very first character of this particular line, there is a hyphen, right? Just empty symbol. Whereas here it is a D. If you see that there is a D, it is nothing but a directory. By observing that, you can say it is a directory. If you see that there is a hyphen, it is nothing but a file. It is nothing but a file. And you can see that this directory level, we have a permissions. The user has a permissions. Owner, read, write, execute. Group will have read, execute. Others will also have a read, execute permissions. Isn't it? So how these permissions by default you get it? How these permissions? How to set up? Like, see this. Okay, by default it is giving some permissions, right? Some read, write, execute to the user, group, others, all those things. How it is allocating, how it comes to know the operating system, okay, how it come to know I have to give these settings. What is the purpose it is giving default settings? Okay, that we try to understand. There is a value called, okay, umask value. Because of that umask value, it will assign a default values for that. Let us understand that. Okay, how can we assign it? Just a minute. So, see that the umask value is 0022. 0022. Let us say I want to create a file first. Okay, touch. Okay, I want to create some test file. You see that ls-lrt. Okay, test is a file. Test is a file. Now, that file, how can we come to know that that is a test? That is a test. That is a. How can we come to know that test file is a file. Okay, because the very first character it shows that hyphen, so we can say it is a file. We have changed the permissions with the help of chmod. Okay, what is the command? Chmod is a to change the permissions. There is a command to chown to change the ownership of the permission, ownership of that particular file, right? These two commands, okay, we have seen. With that help of that, we can change the ownership. Now you see that how can we come to know who is the owner and who is the group owner? See that the first here it is saying that root, that is the owner of the file. This is the group owner of the file. These things we have learnt. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this? To execute a shell, we have given a right permissions on it, and then we have executed it. To give a right permissions, we have given chmod plus x. If you give a plus x, it will get a permissions and you can execute. If it is in your present working directory, if that particular shell script is there, you can execute in this way. So it is executed sequentially, whatever the given message, then directory name, so present working directory, and date. This is the what we have given in our script file. And these are all the things we have learned yesterday. Okay, we are trying to understand. We have seen that various directories as well. What is a bin? What is sbin? What is root? Chmod, s, where, all the directory structure also we try to understand. And we have seen that man commands. If you want to get an help, you can use a man command for any particular file. If you want to get any particular command help, you can say man that particular command. Let us say man ls. Okay, how can you use ls? It will give you entire detailed description. With that, you can easily understand. Okay, just let me quit it, and you can say ll. See that very first character says whether it is a file, directory, or whatever it is. Then it will say the permissions on file, and then it says who is the owner of that particular file, user. This is who is the group of that, and you can say that this is the date, time, and last modified. This is the entire thing, date, time, and last modified, and this is the shell script name. Okay. Suppose you want to permissions to everyone. Okay, you can say chmod. I can say first if you want to give a file permissions to user, group, others. Or else you want to give only user. You want to give only group, only others. What the permissions you want to give? You want to give read, write, execute. So everyone will get read, write, execute permissions on this now. You can see that. In this way also you can set up, or else chmod 777. That means user, group, and others will get read, write, execute permission. Read, write, execute, read, write, execute. In this also, whichever you are feeling comfort, okay, in that way you can set up. Or else you can say, just instead of mentioning user, group, and others, just you can say plus read, write, execute, all will get a full permissions. In this way also you can set up. Okay, is that clear? Okay. So we are trying to understand how the Linux will decide what is the permissions by default it is getting. In a Linux, you have seen that it is getting read, write for user, read for group, okay, group, and others for the group. If it's just okay, how the Linux decides what are the default permissions we can give. you see the umask, just you run a command like umask, it is saying that 0022. Okay, we'll try to substitute this 0022 on 0777, so we'll get an answer. Okay, we'll get an answer. If you substitute in this 0 double, okay, let me show you that. Let me minimize this. Okay, let us say you have a permissions like this. Default permissions is 0777. This is the actual values you have. That is full permissions. If you want to set up, you can set up the 777. What is 0? We'll try to understand at a point of time. As of now, understand. Suppose what is the umask value? 0022. Right? 022. Okay. Generally, if you subtract them, okay, okay, like okay, you can get a value like, what is the value you will get? 755, right? You will get a value for 755, isn't it? 0755. 7 minus 2 5, 7 minus 2 5, 7 minus 0 7. This is the value you will get by default. Okay, if you get this particular value 755, okay, or else whatever the value you get, okay, the newly created file, whenever you create a new file, the file permissions it will set as in this way. Okay, read write or read write, whatever the read. By default, a newly created text file or newly created file, it will get that particular permissions. That means if you get subtract that one, then you will get that particular file. Okay. That permissions will grant for the newly created file. There is one more functionality called set UID feature. The set UID is nothing but, okay, it is a option. Okay, we can set up privileges on that particular user. Okay. Let us see. Okay, how can we set a set UID? If you want to set UID, you can use a command called chmod, and you can say, suppose you want to get a set UID, you can set just plus u plus s on that particular file name called test. Suppose it will assign a set UID. Okay, what is the use of the set UID? What is the use of the set UID? If you set this particular set UID on this particular file or any particular script, it will always execute the script with the owner privileges. Okay, it will always execute the script with the owner privileges. Let us see. Okay, we have a file called ls-lrt hello.sh. It is a one script we have. We will try to set up and set UID. Okay, set UID on this particular one. Okay, set user set UID on this particular hello.sh. So what happens now? Let us see on that hello.sh. There is a one more character like s over here. Read write s. Previously we have a x. You can observe this. Previously we have a x, right? Now it is a s. S is nothing but we have set up an s UID. Set UID. What is the meaning of set UID? By setting the UID, set UID is nothing but all the time whenever you execute that script, it will execute with the privileges of that particular owner. Right? Always run that particular script with the owner privileges, irrespective of whoever it is executing. Okay. Okay. In this way, we can set up. Suppose you want to execute the script always on your privileges, your name. Okay, you can set up this. and so that all the users will execute only on your name. Is that clear, guys? What is the set UID? In the same way, we have a set GID as well. Okay, we have a set GID as well. What is a set GID? Similar to this one, but okay, it will give a ability to the user to run the scripts in a group owner's privileges. Okay, it will give you the group owner privileges. Let's, instead of you, we'll say that G, and so that whenever you execute any script, okay, let us see that now. It will get group owner. Now any user, if you execute, they will get an permissions, okay, as a group files. Okay. Okay, Jagdish. Let us say you all the users. I have created one script. Okay, I have created one script. I don't want to give permissions to all of you, or else if I given a permission as well, okay, also I execute that script. In that script, actually internally some commands are there. So that commands can execute only my name. Okay, you don't have a permissions. So what I have given is, whenever people are executing this script, I want to give owner privileges. That script can execute with only my privileges. In that way, if I set a set UID, it will add at a user level S, read write S instead of X, S, so that is nothing but that file has set up already set UID, so that when you execute that script will execute with the owner privileges. If you set a set UID, it will execute with the group privileges. Suppose you have a group only read permissions, no one can execute it. Is it clear, guys, what is the difference between set UID and set GID? Any doubts in this? Gopalakrishna, Jagdish, is that clear now? Purnachandra, Shiva, Anvesh. Any doubts in this? Okay. Okay, we can go ahead. Thanks. So this is the set UID and set GID. And then we can learn alternatively. If actually I've given the set UID and set GID as a G plus S or U plus S kind of thing, right? You can alternatively you can say that, okay, whatever the permissions in a numerical way also you can specify either 2777 or else whatever the permissions you require you can set up. There is a one more option called sticky bit. We'll try to understand. There is a one more concept called sticky bit. A sticky bit is it is a very interesting functionality actually. Okay, let us say okay, in administration department there are 10 users are there. Okay, there is a 10 users are there in an administration department. Suppose there is one folder, we have set up the sticky bit for it. For one particular folder we have assigned a sticky bit. Then all other users can copy the files to other folder. Then all other users, 10 users are there, right? They can copy files to other folders. All the users can read the files, but only the owner of that particular respective file can edit that file. Other users can only read but not edit or modify those files if the sticky bit set on that particular file. If I set a sticky bit, what is the advantage? Only user can edit that particular file. No other can edit that particular file. All the users can read that particular files, but only the owner of the respective file can edit or delete the file. Rest of all can only read, not but they all can read it, but they cannot edit it. If we want to stick a bit, how can we set up? Let us say I can set up in this way: chmod chmod. Just I can say just plus t. Okay, just plus t on hello.sh. So that what happens, it will set up a sticky bit. You can see that hello.sh. Now there is a t at end of that particular file. You can see that t. If there is a t value, you can see that, you can observe, you can understand that there is a sticky bit set up on that particular file. So who is the owner of that particular file? It's root. Only root can execute it. No one can execute that particular file. Clear? Is that clear? If the same thing, if you want to execute in a numerical way, okay, let me understand that. Let us understand this. Suppose if you want to set up a set UID, what is the command we have given? U plus S, right? Set UID, that is we have given U plus S. Or else we can also say that chmod. Okay, we use a chmod. Okay, that is fine. Let us say chmod U plus S. Okay, not capitals, you can use anything. U plus S. And you will also use a command like 777, whatever the rest of the things, that is up to you, whatever the permissions you want to set up, and then file name in a numerical way, and character wise you can define in this way. If you want to set GID, you can run a command like chmod G plus S, or else you can say just 2. In front of that 2 you have to specify. The numerical value for the representation of GID is 2, and then file name. Then the other one is the set UID we have discussed, GID we have discussed. Then we have discussed one more thing is sticky bit. What is the sticky bit advantage? Only owner can execute. Okay, I can say sticky bit. Sticky bit is nothing but owner can execute. To run this, we can run chmod. Okay, I can say plus t, or else I can say 1777. Whatever the permissions you can set up, that is up to you. But first character should be 1, then file name. Now in this scenario, what happens? First set UID will give you, okay, whoever execute, it will execute with the permissions of user. It will execute the permissions of owner or user. The second option, if you assign a GID, whoever execute it, that will execute it with the permissions of, okay, with the privileges of the group ID. In this scenario, only owner can execute it, owner can read it, owner can edit, read, write, and delete it, whereas other users can only read it, no one can execute it. Is that clear, guys? Three options. Be clear very first time, so that you can easily, if you have the basics, fundamentals things perfect, you can easily learn the things very easily. If you have a Linux understanding, you can learn anything. Okay. Let us understand some jobs. Okay, in a computer, if you execute anything, it will create some structure. Let us say in your computer, if you start any particular service, okay, it will start in a process. Suppose I started in a Google Chrome, I have started a Google meeting, GoToMeeting, I have started a Skype, I have started a Slack, or whatever it is. It will create a process in your system that started whenever the service is started. it will create a one process on top of it. So that process is actually it will take care of. What is Purna? What is that question? Any question, Purnachandra? Do you want me to unmute? Okay. Okay, I've unmuted you, Purna. You can ask me.
Yeah, my question is going for the set ID and group ID, GID. If your file, the hello.sh have the set ID and the group ID, okay, if the user belongs to two groups, so what will be the scenario?
It is basically, okay, it is not belong to any particular user or group. Suppose I set a group ID, okay, whoever it is executing, if it has permissions, okay, it will execute with the permissions of the group. Suppose you have only execute permissions. Though you have execute permissions, that will execute with the permissions of the group.
Okay. No. My question is if the user ABC has he belongs to the two groups. 1, 2, 3 is the one group, and 4, 5, 6 is the one group.
Let me explain. Purna is not belong to any group.
Okay.
You have execute permissions on it. If you execute it, by default that group, that particular file has one group permissions, right? Something read, execute, whatever.
Yes.
Whatever the permission has, it will execute with that particular permissions. Though it is not required to, you don't require to have a one of the group.
Okay. The last 3 digits, what are there, the same permissions which will come to the file of directory, right?
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any questions? Be clear in a first class itself, so that while executing scripts, you should not. Okay. Okay. Some people may ask the question, what is sticky bit? Sticky bit, people may ask you, what is sticky bit actually? What is sticky bit? Okay, my way of explanation I have given. Let us say in Google, what is sticky bit? Okay, what is a sticky bit? Let us understand that. Okay, at last we can see the T, right? Instead of X, we can see the T. The T is nothing but sticky bit. What is sticky? Sticky bit is mainly used to on folders in order to avoid the deletion of a folder, and it cannot contained by the other users. Though they having a right permissions on the folder contents, if the sticky bit enabled on particular folder, the folder contents are deleted by the owner, or okay, you can do it. But when come to the files, we are discussing on particular file. Let us say learn sticky bit with examples. Okay, you can set up in a folder level sticky bit. Okay, let us say we want to set up on a sticky bit on a particular file. Okay, we have set up in a folder level, not on file level. Okay. Where you can create Linux directory so that you can use it. Let us say, okay, you can set up by example. Let us see some examples over here. If you want to assign a sticky bit, you can say +s +t. If you want to remove the sticky bit, you can say -t, so that it will be removed. So Ideally, the sticky bit is to give permissions to any particular user instead of any particular group, any particular. Okay, he can only execute that particular script level. In that way, we can set up. Okay, we have seen that sticky bit as well as the permissions like set UID, set GID. So you can say sticky bit is a if you in a folder, if you want to assign okay, if you want to assign a sticky bit in a folder on part of a folder, okay, all others in that particular folder can only copy the files to that particular folder. They can copy it, that means they can write it, but all users can only read the files, but only the root user or else owner of that particular root user as well as the owner of that particular file can edit or delete. That is the main thing we have to understand in a shell scripting point of view. Okay, let us go some other things. Okay, we have seen this particular one, the basic permissions. Then we'll jump into the process of that the process of that particular one. What is a process? We try to understand what is a process. Thus, whenever you start any system, whenever you start any system, that will start some process, that will start some services, that will start some services. If you want to see what are the services are running in my system, you can say ps-ef. PS means it will list all the processes. These many processes are running, just like I've shown in a Windows, right? In the same way, in a Linux, these many processes are running. Okay. Suppose I want to know whether a particular service called cron is running or not. Let us say I clear this. ps-ef. I'll tell you what is grep. As of now, don't bother about this. Okay. You just forgot about the first line. Whenever you are trying to get a grep, it will grep that particular process. The grep also will execute one particular process. This is the actual one. Cron is running. Grep is nothing but you are filtering that. There is a number of lines are there. From that you want to filter any particular line, any particular word you want to pull it. Okay, you can use a command called grep. Grep will pull that particular keyword called cron. Okay. So basically, if you want to see what are the processes are running on your machine, okay, that will, if you can execute the ps-ef command, the ps will list you all the process lists. Okay, ps will list you all the processes which are running on your machine. Okay? So generally, whenever you started a machine, okay, whenever you started a server, there will be a kernel, that is nothing but your operating system main libraries files, that initiates that init process. Init is a parent process for all the processes. That means it will one process it will start first, that they call it as init. Okay, one parent process for all the processes. There is a one parent process. The name of that parent process is init. It will start, then it will check what are the services I have to start. Okay, it will start all the services. Okay. Okay. In the OS, generally, whenever you start a new service or any particular process started, created by the system is called as fork. F-O-R-K. Every new process is created by the operating system call it as a fork. Remember that every process will have a process ID. Okay, let us have it to understand better understanding. We'll see in a Windows, so it will be much clearer. See, in Windows, all the processes are started. Okay, if you go to the in detail of that particular process, this is the Linux sticky bit. All the details are given, and it is using this much of CPU, this much of this, all the details it has. Performance, history, setup, details. Okay, see that there is a java.exe, one process, particular process is running. The PID, process ID is this one, process ID, it is in running state. Who started this particular user, how much CPU utilizing, how much memory utilizing, what is the description of that, so that every process has its own process ID. We can recognize with the process ID as well. If you want to see entire tree like this in a Unix, you can say tree, okay, ps tree process. You can run a command called ps tree. You can see entire tree. Right? You can see entire tree of your Unix machine, your process. Let me drag it up so that we can easily understand what is the parent process kind of thing. Now we'll try to drag it up. See that what is first started? Init is a parent process for all the processes. Once init started, it has started network manager. In that way, it has started n number of processes step by step. It is in the operating system level. Okay, it started n number of things one by one. It has started all the processes. Okay, all the processes are started by init. If you want to check entire tree, you can run ps tree. Okay, so we have to understand there is a three types of processes: orphan process, zombie process, daemon process. Okay, generally we require what is a zombie process. Okay, what is a zombie process? Let us say ps-ef. See that there is a n number of things you can see. This is the user ID who created it. What is the process ID for that? Okay, let us understand one by one all these things. First, before trying to understand this, there is a three types of daemons. Three types of processes are there. One is orphan process. We don't require to understand that. There is a zombie process, ZOM. Let me write on a notepad. Three processes we have. One is orphan process. The other one is zombie process. So we have to concentrate on zombie process. What is zombie process? The other one is daemon process. DAEM. What is the meaning of daemon in English? Anyone? Anyone? What is the daemon in English meaning? Can you check in Google and let me know? One of my client asked this, okay, while doing job, okay, he asked me what is a daemon. It is running in my system. He literally asked me, oh, it says that it is a daemon process which is running in my system. What is a daemon? Is it really a ghost? It is running on my machine. So let us start with a daemon. A daemon is a service in a Linux environment. Like a daemon will not appear as right. It will run in a background. So daemon is also a running. Okay, it will run in a background. Okay, it will. Okay, the service. Whenever you start a service, it will create one daemon kind of thing. It will. Okay, it will continuously running in a background. Okay? That makes sure that your service is up and running and the required things are up and running. Okay, first we'll try to understand what is the orphan process. Okay, if by something you change that, okay, parent process, okay, by it is terminated. Suppose the parent process, suppose parent for all the processes in it, right? If the init process is terminated but still the child process is running, okay, that particular process, what are the child process which is no, the parents are not there, those are all orphan processes, right? Isn't it? It is right, right? Who are not having parents, they can call it as orphans. In the same way, if the parent process is terminated or killed and still the child process is running, okay, if still the child process is running, that process we call it as orphan process. One of the main thing we have to understand is demon process, oh, sorry, zombie process. A zombie process is a very critical, it will kill entire your CPU and memory resources. What it does, now suppose the orphan process may become a zombie process, okay. Sometimes it will continuously, it will keep on running in your background, that demon zombie process. The orphan process, it doesn't know what is the parents and keep on running in the background, and sometimes it is not required to run actually, so it is utilizing all your CPU utilizers and memory utilizers, and that will become your CPU get crashed. To avoid that, we have to know what is a zombie process, and we can kill them, we can manually kill them. Generally, if you run the ps-f, that table contains all the information about your child processes, okay, created by parent process. Okay, if something is not there, you can understand that, okay, that is a zombie process. Let us say we try to run a command like, okay, suppose let us run a command like to understand whether is there any zombies are there in my system or not. Okay, one of the very important thing you have to know whether is there any zombie processes are running or there or not. Okay, if you run just ps command, okay, if you run just ps command, let me run the ps command over here. If you want to know, let me clear this. If I just run a ps command to list the process along with the parent process ID associated with that particular terminal, you can run that particular command. If I want to run it with the ps-ef or else, okay, ps-e, if you want to list, okay, what are the presently associated with your terminal, you can run the ps command. If you want to list with the parent process, you can run -f. This you can treat it as a further kind of thing. If you want to list with the parent process details, you can run ps-f. You can see that UID or PID, right? PID in that. Now, okay, if you want to list the parent ID, parent process ID, along with the process state, whether it is running or not, what is the, okay, you can run ps-lf. You can run, okay, if you want to, you can run, if you want to list it in a detailed way, whether it is running or not, what is the status of that, if you want to know it, you can run a ps-lf. Ultimately, we will use a command like ps-ef in general to list all the process details, whether, okay, what is the status of that. Okay, ps-lf. Okay, in detail if you want to understand. Okay, if you want to list all the process which is running in your operating system, including the system processes and all the processes, you can run command ps-ef. one of the important things for the system administrator, you have to know what are the processes are running and what is the status of that, what is the PID, all those things. So we try to understand this output in detail. Okay, if you run the if you run the man PS, it will give you in detailed information. It will tell you all the detailed information. Suppose you want to kill one particular if you want to kill particular command, a particular process, suppose what you can do. 1 minute. Suppose I say PS hyphen EF, I want to grep. Okay, suppose cron. Okay, it has printed that the last line is nothing but cron related process. Suppose I want to kill that. Okay, you don't require it something, okay, which is not running properly. You want to kill it. You can run command kill. But the either you can use a process ID or process name to kill it. Let us say I want to use as of now the cron D. Okay, is my process name. Okay. Okay, you can either use a as we discussed, you can use a name or else ID. Okay, it is not allowing me to use a ID, right? The name, right? It is asking us to have a process ID. Okay, you can use a kill or pkill. There are two commands. You can use either kill or pkill. Generally, if you use a kill command, you have to use a process ID. If you can use it, there is another alternative command. You can use a pkill, a process kill. Then it will directly take that name as well. If you want to use the name, you can use pkill. If you want to use ID, the process ID, you have to use kill. Whichever you want, you can use it. Okay, is it clear, guys? If you want to use kill command, you have to use the ID number. That you can see that the ID number is here 1915. See, previously we have run that command, so it has grep cron, so it has listed that it is running. Let us see now, is that listed? No. Why? Because just we killed it, right? So because of that, the cron D is not listed. So we manually killed it. We don't require it. Suppose we find it is a zombie kind of thing, so we don't require it, so we manually want to kill it. So you can use kill or pkill command and you can kill it. In this way we can kill any particular process. In a Windows, how can we do it? Have you all done have you used this that kind of option? Have you killed any process manually in your regular doing? Suppose I can say I want to kill a Slack. You can say end task, right? You want to kill Skype. You can say end Skype, right? You can also use in here. You can say I want to notepad. I want to kill this. Okay, whatever the notepad is there, we may lost it. The notepad is not there now. So in the same way, how you end the process in a Unix, if you want to do it, you can use a kill command. Right? Sometimes we use a sometimes we use kill command with the process ID, but sometimes it may not kill. Still, it may run in a background. At that particular time, you can use an option called -9. Okay, you can use kill -9. Then the process ID is something 1915. This one they call -9 is nothing but a signal. There are different signals are there. One of the signal is 9 that will terminate your running process. That will useful. The 9 is useful for terminate your running process. That they call it as signal. There are different signals are there. To terminate, sleep, different signals are there. We try to just you see that okay in a Google. Try to understand in a Google what are the signals are available. Okay, let us say okay, you want to understand how to kill the Linux particular process in a okay in particular Linux operating system. How can we kill any particular process? You can say directly kill. See that you can use in this way. Kill all the processes possible to be killed. You can use different options. Okay, in this way you can use it. Kill either you can use either pkill or kill with a different signal. -9 is nothing but terminate kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. Kill with a process ID. This is a kill and process ID. If I use -9, it is nothing but it will terminate. The signal will use -9. With no signal, explicitly include that command signal 15. It will by default add. If 9 is nothing but it will terminate. -1 you have different options you have. See that PS tree will list you all the process tree. Okay, I'll give you the document list for you. All the Linux useful commands. You can also go through it. Okay. I'll get all the registrations today, and I'll try to add you all in that particular one. Okay. You have a different management. If you want to manage the process, okay. Sometimes, if you want to, suppose you want to copy all the files into some other computer. Today there is a 1 TB of file is there, 1 TB of storage data is there. You want to copy all the files into another system, but you want to leave the office now. It may take 10 hours. You cannot sit in front of your system for 10 hours. Right? By observing that particular command, you cannot sit for 10 hours. You can also run them in a background. Whatever the job you say, okay, let us say I want to copy some files. You can say that, okay, run in a background. How can we run in a background? Let us understand that. In general, in a bash shell, whatever the commands we say, okay, we start any program, okay, it will run in a foreground. That is nothing but on screen. In some situations, we cannot run more than one command in that particular scenario. Right? Only one program it is running. You cannot do any other task at that particular time. So how can we manage that? Suppose we want to manage more than one particular commands. You can use different way. You can start process in a background. That process, okay. Then okay, it will run in a background. Let us say I want to run the program which you have a script. Let us say .hello world. Okay, let me run that. .hello. I want to run in a background, so you have to use this particular ampersand symbol. So automatically that particular process will run in the background. Okay, it will run in the background continuously. It will run in the background. Okay. But what is the result you want to show? That is showing in a script. That is all. Okay. Now whatever the command you want to execute, that you can execute, and you can say, you know, if you want to run anything, if you say that particular one, okay, okay, you can execute in that way. If you want to come out of that, just you can say ampersand, it will come out of that part. Okay. Okay. Let us see. Let us see. Suppose I want to run a command like mm, I want to command like ls. Whatever the command, then you can say ampersand, so that it will continuously run in a background. Okay. Let us come run some command. Okay. Suppose, for example, we have a command like sleep. Okay. Generally, the sleep. Okay. It will wait some time, kind of thing. Okay. Suppose I say, let us say I want to run a command like sleep, and I say something 100 seconds kind of thing. Then I can say ampersand. So that command will run in a background now. Okay, that command will run in a background. If you want to check the process, yes, you can check the process whether it is running in a background or not. Just you can say jobs. Just you can say what are the jobs are running in a background. You can say with the jobs command. See that one sleep command is running in a background. Okay. Another thing, if I want to run, suppose instead of 100, I want to say 1000 ampersand. If you want to run this, let us say jobs, so that it will list you what are the jobs are running in a background. Generally, all the commands will execute in a foreground. If you want to execute any jobs in a background, okay, you can say, okay, just a command with ampersand. It will run in a background. If you want to list all the background lists, you can say the jobs. It will list you all the jobs which are running in a background. Okay, suppose uh, suppose you say I want to run a particular job. Suppose a particular two job is running in a background. You want to make it as a foreground. Okay, I don't want to make it as a okay. I want to make that particular two job as a background. I want to make it as a foreground. You can say FG2. The second job I want to make it as a foreground. Let's see, sleep 1000 is running now over here. Okay, generally there are two types of jobs. Anything executing any command, there are two types. One is background and one is foreground. The scripts generally we run in a background kind of thing. If you want to make that background, you can say just ampersand, that symbol, so it will execute background. If you want to know what are the background jobs are running, you can say just jobs command. It will show that it will show you all the it will show you all the background commands. Okay, if you want to make that background as a foreground, you can say with a command called FG foreground, then the job number, so that particular job will become a foreground. Okay, is it clear? Suppose you want to stop this particular job, you can say Control Z, it will stop it. If I press the Control Z key, that will stop. Suppose whatever the stopped job you want to run in a background again, I can say BG background, the job number is 2. So it will run in a background now again. It will run in a background again. See that if I say jobs, okay, the second job is running, right? First job is completed, so second job is running in a background. Any doubts in this, guys? What is the foreground job? What is the background job? How can we list all the jobs? How can we make it as a foreground or background, whatever it is? If you want to list with the jobs-1 or else particular job number, jobs-2, it will list, sorry, -1, -L, okay, it will list all the jobs with a PID. Jobs with -L is it will list you whether it is running and it is what the command you have executed and what is the PID, process ID of that particular one. Job-L, if it will list you. Suppose you want to kill this particular ID, what I can do? I can say kill. Oh, what is? Oh, I can say just kill. Okay, 3377. Okay, now it is terminated. Let us say jobs again. Let us say jobs again. Any jobs are running? No, we have killed it. We have killed manually. Is it clear, guys? Any doubts here? Can I have a response from you? So I'll come to know that you all are involved in a class. Gayatri, Bhavani, Shravya. Super. Okay. Well, let us jump into other topic. Don't feel that we are going very slow. We can pick up the things. Okay. We can accelerate also after some time. Just once we all are comfortable. Okay. We can accelerate the things. Okay. Now we'll try to understand how to monitor all the process. We have one of the important command as a system administrator in a Linux or else. Okay. You have to understand what is the top. Okay. Understanding top is very important for all of us. We have to be clear what exactly this top does. Okay. Top is very important to understand what exactly it is. Top will give you all your system information. Like just I have given a task manager right in a Windows. In the same way, you can open this top command in a Linux. We can view the performance of various processes in your particular OS. Let us understand all the fields in this so that you all will be in a clear position what exactly the top is. The first line we'll try to understand top 8:42:21, that is now time is 8:42:21. Okay, then that is the first current time. Whether system is uptime, okay, from how long it is uptime. Okay, how long it is uptime. Number of users logged in this particular system. 2 users are logged in this particular system now. The second word is one of the important thing. Okay, is load average. 0.00, 0.06, 0.16. What is that 3 ones? Any idea what is the load average it is saying, Purna? Or any other? What is the load average it is saying?
CPU utilization from the starting uptime.
Yes, it is a CPU utilization, but the load average for 5 minutes, 10 minutes and 15 minutes respectively. That means last 5 minutes what is the load average on your CPU, what is the load average on last 10 minutes, what is the load average on last 15 minutes. Is it clear? Okay, in general what would be the ideal load average on your system? First of all, you have to come to know how many CPUs are there in your machine. Suppose let us say I have a one CPU. One, okay, you say that one core, two core, right? In your system point of view, like how many cores are there in your system? Let us say one core. There is a, let us say, one core you have. So ideal load average would be up to 1. Say it is a 0.10, right? Up to 1 it is fine. The system can bear, system can manage. If it exceeds more than 1, the load on the system is more than the expected. Then you have to be careful. If you have 2 CPUs, up to 2 is fine. If you have 3 CPUs, up to 3 is fine. Are you getting? That is the main thing you have to understand. So the next line, the first line is clear, right, for all of you? The top command will list you first is current time, system uptime, second is system uptime, from 1 hour 8 minutes it is running. The third thing is number of users logged in. The last one is load average for 5 minutes, 10 minutes and 15 minutes. The ideal load average will be decided on the number of CPUs you have. Based on that, you have to tell to your client if it is load is okay, full or average or whatever it is. And the second line says that there is a 149 total tasks are 149 tasks are running on my machine, right? There is a total 149 is running, one is running and 148 is sleeping. In that total task, one is running and rest of all in sleep state. 0 is stopped and 0 is zombie. You can see here it is a zombie, 0 is zombie, zombie is 0. Okay, here you have to find out, okay, is there any zombie processor running on your machine? If any zombie processor running, you have to take care of that. Okay, you have to kill it. Otherwise, the zombie process will eat entire your CPU resources. With the third line, we try to understand CPU. Then there is a different options are there. US, SY, NI, ID. Okay, we try to understand those things. What is US? US is nothing but CPU usage in the percentage of running. Okay, the user, those are all user process. US is nothing but the CPU utilization usage in a percentage by the user. Okay, it is using the 0.7 percentage we are using, the user is using. SY is nothing but CPU utilization in percentage of kernel utilization. SY is nothing but system or else kernel. System or kernel. NI, the third one is NI. Okay, these are all very small things. These are all very small things but very important. Okay? These are all very small things and but important things to understand the system behavior. Okay, the third one is NI. CPU is utilization. Okay, in percentage of running the the prioritized. NI is nothing but if you prioritize any particular process, those prioritized user related process, you can say that NI. That NI is nothing but NICED. NICED. The CPU usage in the percentage running by NICED user process. NICE is nothing but you have prioritized any particular process, you can see that. Okay, the second one is WA. WA is nothing but waiting. That means any IO is waiting. Suppose you have written n number of data. Suppose 1 TB you have written on your disk. You have written 1 TB, but as per your disk capacity, it is writing, and there is n number of IOs, input output operations are in waiting. Okay, the CPU utilization in percentage of writing of your IO. Okay, writing of your IO. Okay, for IO, how much CPU utilization it is using, that you can see in WA. The second one, the next thing is HI, hardware interrupts. CPU usage in a percentage for solving your hardware interrupts. Software interrupts, SI is nothing but software interrupts. ST is nothing but time stolen. that hypervisor, that suppose you say hypervisor is my operating system. Sometimes your hypervisor may be SXI, sometimes your hypervisor may be whatever the on top of your hardware, whatever you installed, they call it as hypervisor. Okay, is that clear, guys? The third line. Any doubts in the third line? SIST, till SIST we have discussed. Then the fourth line and sixth line we try to understand. There you can see that memory. There you can see that memory. How much utilized. Swap is nothing but you can say, oh, what is the difference between memory and swap? Memory is nothing but your RAM. Swap is nothing but from your hard disk. If it's taken some space and given to the as a RAM, they call it as a swap. Your system, from the system you are utilizing. That is nothing but a swap. Then also we'll discuss a top one. There is a PID, user, PR, NI, VIRT, VRS. What exactly these are all? First PID is nothing but process ID. USR is nothing but which user it has created. The PR is nothing but the priority of the process. The priority, it will execute 20, then 21, 22. What is the priority of the process? Then NI is nothing but the nice value of the process. Nice value, based on the nice value, it will execute the process. If it is a higher value, it will execute first. VIRT. VIRT is nothing but how much virtual memory it is utilizing. How much virtual memory utilizing. RES is nothing but what is the physical memory utilizing. Okay, it is a virtual memory and real memory kind of. Okay, how much virtual memory utilizing and what is the physical memory utilizing the process. Then SHR is nothing but shared memory utilizing. Then one of the important thing is S. S is nothing but it will tell you whether the process is in sleep state, running state. So you see that R is nothing but running. Rest of all are in S, right? S means sleep state. But sometimes you may see here Z. Sometimes you may see here Z. A Z is nothing but it is a zombie process. If you see Z over here in a S, okay, in a S, you can see here the S. If you see here S level Z, that is nothing but that is a zombie process. You can kill that zombie process with the help of kill command and you can kill it. The CPU, the next one is CPU. This is the CPU used by the process. How much okay, percentage of CPU used by this process. How much RAM used by this process. Next one is time. The total time activity on this process. Total time, how much time it has started. This, okay, total time of the activity of this particular process. Which command you have executed so that it has taken. One particular process running, that is command we have run called top from 2 point, the top command is running from 2.8 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes something it is running from top. Top is running from 2 minutes, 2.86 time. Okay, all the utilization details are shown over there. Okay, if you want to come out of this, yes, just you can just press Q over here on your system. Where is my cursor? Okay. There are other tools also there. There are other tools also there for your system level. That is, we can run some other tools like, let me go through that. That IOStat, one of the important commands we have to understand is IOStat. If you run the queue, it will quit from that. Okay. The next command what we can learn is IOStat. What is IO stat? IO is nothing but input output operations. Whatever you are storing the data, whatever you're getting, those is nothing but IO. So you want to get the statistics. That is stat. IO stat. Okay, to view the status of your CPU and input output devices, information utilization, all the things you want to get it, you can use this particular IO stat. You want to get only CPU statistics, you can say -c. You'll get only CPU related. Shows only the CPU, average CPU utilization. You want to get only disk utilization. You want to get only disk utilization. Suppose I can say D. It will tell you all the disks, SDA, DM0, 1, 2, what is that reads, what is the writes. Okay. It will tell you only the disk related information. If you want to check the virtual memory statistics, vmstat, you can run a command called vmstat. It will list you the virtual memory statistics. All the virtual, okay, what is the utilized, what is the swap, all those things you want to know it, you can use vmstat. Okay. Yeah. Suppose I want to get a different intervals, how the free, okay, what is swap, what is the free, what is the buffer, what is the cache, you can see different things. You want to observe in a different times. I want to run it, okay, I want to run it in a different times, like, okay, I want to execute every 1 second I want to execute, and I want to execute for 5 times. The time interval I am giving vmstat, I want to execute every 1 second for 5 times. You can see that results over here. It will execute 5 times every 1 minute, and it will exit. See that? It has executed 5 times. It has executed 5 times, and it will list you the different statistics for the different times for every second. There is a one more command called SAR. SAR is nothing but System Activity Reporter. You see that the System Activity Reporter is nothing but how much CPU utilized, how much, all the things, how much idle it is at this particular time. 740, what is the time? 750, 8, 810, 820, different times, what is the CPU utilization, average CPU utilization, user, night, system, IO weight, IO steel, all this information in the different times, and average as well. Suppose a SAR you want to get every 2 seconds, I want to execute SAR for every okay, I want to utilize the report SAR-R, no, -u. Suppose every 2 seconds I want to get 3 times. Okay, every 2 seconds it will print, for 3 times it will print, and it will exit. See that 3 times it has printed and it has executed. If you don't need to use -u also, you can say just SAR2 and 3, it will execute every 2 seconds for 3 times, and you can see that. See that there is a one CPU, there is only one CPU in your system, that is the operating system is CentOS 2.mylab.local is my machine. There you have only one CPU, the average user is this is all the things you can see. Guys, are you getting any confusion? Is that okay? Just everyone is new, some people are new to Linux. I'm asking. If you have any doubts, even it is a very basic, it may be silly, whatever it is, just you can ask me, no issues. Okay. Even if it is a very silly question, no problem, you can ask me, so that even other people can also may have that question, so that other people can also clear it. Shravya, are you there? Okay, let us go into some other understanding. Let us understanding different schedulers. What is a scheduler? What is a scheduler? A scheduler is nothing but it is just like an alarm kind of thing. Suppose what you can do alarm every day if I set, okay, it will execute. If I set one particular schedule, okay, it will execute, okay, every time whenever you set, right? Once you set it, every time it will execute as per your setting. In the same way, suppose I want to run particular script. Let us say I want to back up my one of the Java folder every day and I want to put it into a safe location. Or else say one particular task we want to do repetitively. That is why we write shell scripts, right? Or to automate anything. Again, you want to run manually, it will create some, okay, it is not that suggestible. Suppose in a midnight you want to run some tasks. Okay, manually running, we cannot go to office and run it, right? Instead of that, you can schedule it. If you schedule it according to the schedule, it will execute that particular script or job or whatever. Okay, according to the script, it will execute. According to the schedule, it will execute it. Okay, there are two types of schedulers are available. Scheduler is nothing but just like your alarm. Okay, when I want to bring that particular alarm. Okay, every day 6 o'clock morning from Monday to Friday or else Monday to Saturday. That means every day you want to execute or else only weekdays you want to ring the bell. Okay, suppose weekdays I want to ring at 5:30 a.m. In a weekends I want to bring at 10 a.m. I want to have a sleep in a weekends. In that way, in the same way how we can schedule our alarm, in the same way we can schedule a scheduler over here. There are different types. There are two types of scheduler. One is at, and the one is cron. There are two types of schedulers are available. One is at, and another one is cron. In alarm also you can set up only one time, right? Suppose tomorrow morning you want to wake up at 4 a.m. You can set up alarm for one time for 4 a.m. That's it. There is other option you can set up in a regular schedule. Every day you want to wake up at 6 a.m. In the same way, we have two schedulers. One is at, other one is cron. There are two types of schedulers are available. One is at, another is cron. Okay, at is execute only one particular time, whereas cron will execute in a multiple things. Like if you want to execute in a recurrence, okay, it will execute in a multiple times as per the given schedule. Okay, suppose let us understand it. When you want to execute, you can say just command. I can say at what time you want to execute and what date you want to execute. Just you say that, it will execute. Okay, let us do one thing. I want to execute one particular command. Okay, let us execute one command. Okay, what is the time now? I say date command. It will tell you now it is a 9:02. Let us say at 9:04 at, I can say 9:04 a.m. I want to execute it. What do you want to execute? At command. I want to say echo. Okay, this is at job. Okay, example at job. Okay, example. Okay, example. Then I want to execute this. Then suppose I want to print it into a some output. I want whatever that echo hello world hello. This is a job example. I want to print it. I want to send it, that one into some other file. Okay, I say log.txt. I want to send this information to log.txt. You may not be available in office, right? It may be, suppose you want to execute in 10 p.m. You may not be in office. Whatever the happened, the result, you want to send it to the some log.txt. Then I can say, you can, if you want to close this, you want to save and exit this, you can say Control D. You say, you can Control D. Now you said date. Now it is 9/4. Right? It is 9/4. Let us say more. There is a log.txt, right? More log.txt. Why it is not printed? Okay, let us do one thing. That we have something 9/5. We'll say it at 9/7, so that we'll have some time. I want to execute at 9/7. Okay. Okay, then I want to execute like this. Echo. Okay, I say hello world. Okay. I want to send that information to log.txt. Okay, I want to save this and execute it. Control D. Okay. I think I've given Control C. I think. Job to at this particular one. Let us say jobs. Okay. What is the date now? It is 9/6. We have given 9/7. Okay, nothing is running in jobs. In the background, nothing. No job is running now. At 9/7, we have given one schedule to run hello echo command, and I want to put that output into log.txt. Right? It is 9/7 now. Okay. Let us say ls-lrt. The log.txt has timestamp has changed to 9.7. That is, it has changed to 9.7. See that the hello world, whatever the given input, whatever the echo, it's printing the hello world, it has redirected to the log.txt, right? Something you have given any command. Suppose you want to give some task. Okay, you want to copy something, so you want to move something, you want to delete something, then you want to get the logs into this particular folder. Yes, whatever it has happened, we will send this to this particular file, log.txt. It is the idea is we are trying to understand it. The it has executed at whatever the time you said and send the information to the log.txt. We have seen it. So there is a one scheduler called it. It will execute only one time the given time. You can say time as well as date as well. Just I have given a time. Why? Because I want to execute today only. Instead of that, you can say any particular date. Okay, it will execute that date as well. Okay, you can set up in this way. At something like 10 a.m. I want to execute on today's 27th. I want to execute on 28th. Okay, which month it is? It is November, October, OCT, I can say. Okay, OCT. I want to execute on where it is. Cancel it off. Okay. I can say at. Let me go to the test folder. So we are doing in this. I can say at. I want to execute 10 a.m. Suppose I say 9 a.m. tomorrow 9 a.m. on October 26th 2016. If I say this, it will execute on this particular date and this particular time. So guys, hope you understood these things. Okay. Tomorrow we'll understand cron tab. Okay, that is cron, one of the scheduler, one of the important one. Okay. Then we'll try to go through some writing shell scripts from tomorrow onwards, and we'll see how can we go forward. Thanks for attending. See you tomorrow. I'll share you all this.
One question.
Yes.
Yeah. How to list? How can we list the ad jobs? Is there any?
Okay. Yes, we can list the ad jobs. You can say ATQ. Okay. Let us say. Okay. Let us say I want to schedule an ad job. Okay. Let us say AT at 9. Suppose 9:30 a.m. I want to execute one thing. Echo hello. Okay. Then I can say Control D. Now I say ATQ. It will list you that all the queues what you have. At 9:30 you have one queue. One is in queue at 9:30. ATQ will list you at queue. Is it clear, Puna?
Okay. Yeah, but we can't get the job description, right? It's what's job.
It will not describe whatever the job description. It will give you what is the
Okay.
at what.
What's the next scheduled job? That's it.
If you want to remove that schedule, suppose I can say at RM the remove. The job ID is nothing but here 3.
3. Yes.
It is removed. Now you can say ATQ. There is no job.
Okay. But once scheduled, we don't know what's the job scheduled. Only we can get the next scheduled job. That's it.
The schedule number and what is at what time it is scheduled.
Okay, but we can't get what's the job.
No.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for attending. See you tomorrow for next class. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Bye.
Good night.